Autophiles at the Malaysia Autoshow 2025. Now, at the last auto show, the Clims, I said that I'm not really interested in doing auto show content because I'm not really a very good hype man, and when you have technical errors like this, it's kind of makes making videos very difficult. I hate shooting in public, it's just so awkward. But instead of pretending to be a hype man for all these EV launches and car launches, I thought I'd give you a very honest assessment of what it's like to go to a motor show like this, and also what to expect of this particular motor show. So we'll start the first hall, and I have to say, when I got here, I didn't have my media tag. One of my colleagues took it from me, and I managed to just sneak in, and no one stopped me. I was in here for quite some time. I came in through the back door instead of the front door. That's the secret if you want to sneak into a motor show. Going through the back, don't smile, look serious, look like you know where you're going, and you can go through. They won't stop you. Yeah, especially if you're taller than them. No one's going to stop you. Don't do that. It's against the law. So anyway, the first things they launched were all over here. BMW launches. They built a little tarmac ring road, which was kind of a bad idea because a lot of the cars got dirty, tires were dirty, and I realized when I haven't taken the ice cream. You can save one for me.
No need to save lah. Whenever you free, just go there and take. You got media pass, I already tell them all media come and take.
Lovely. See you. That's the best part about motor show, you get free ice cream. Anyway, yeah, the cars got a bit dirty. We realized in our social media posts on DSF that people were commenting about how dirty the tires were. It's because this is like a kind of haphazard gravel road thingy that they put up so the cars could go in. I mean, it was really cool to set up, you know, because at one point they had all the minis come out, and there were 4 different minis that they wanted to show us. And every time they wanted to go through the next car, they would just drive all the minis around and show the next car. Quite cool, just that tires got dirty. Anyway, so what BMW launched was the car over there. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, 330 Li. Oh, it's not focusing. Focus on the car. There's nothing new. I think we've seen like 3 or 4 different versions of the G20 long wheelbase in Malaysia. This one gets a very small update. I think it's just like 360 camera. The price goes up by 6,000 ringgit or something like that. Besides that, they also get like a sound system, Harman Kardon. I don't know how relevant this car is, but it's here. Maybe having a 360 camera makes it a bit more appealing. In brain buying a car that's 300 over 1,000 with a 360-degree camera, but it's difficult to justify without. Maybe that's the thinking. So besides the 330 Li, there was also a bunch of minis launched. If I'm not mistaken, 3 JCW cars. 2 of them were electric, one was petrol. So now the JCW lineup has a petrol 3-door, electric 3-door, electric Aceman, and the petrol Countryman. So you have a bunch of choices lah. And the electric models are so much cheaper than the petrol models, and they're actually faster as well. So kind of a ridiculous deal if you think about it. But the more interesting deal for me was the convertible model. So the new generation Mini convertible Cooper is actually made in the UK, but they brought in a petrol model. So it's a bit strange. So like if you think about it, the MG Cyberster is a Chinese car pretending to be British, but it's made in China, and it's $320,000 electric vehicle. This is a German car pretending to be British, and it's also a $320,000 vehicle, but it's petrol powered. It's much smaller than Cyberster though, and much slower, and doesn't have scissor doors. So what is it doing? What is this focus doing? My god, I need to change this camera to something with face detect. Yeah, so Mini, a couple of interesting launches, but that's about it. After Mini, we had, I think, Zeekr. Zeekr's right over here. The first thing Zeekr did was they launched this new color, mineral grey, for the 009. I thought it was a bit weird that they only had this car in black and white, but yeah, grey is also another boring color that you can add to the roster. It's a very cool interior though that this car has. Don't know if you've seen it before. We should definitely take this for a test drive. Look at that. There's a version of this that has even wider seats, and yeah, it just like reclines all the way. It's so cool. I had a trip from Penang to KL in this, and I slept the whole way. It was amazing. I was supposed to drive, but I was too lazy. Yeah, so there is a new color, and there's also I think a new variant. I'm not sure if that's the variant. It's called the 009 Executive, 320,000 or something, so slightly cheaper than the regular one. I think only 500 units so far confirmed. You'll see. And then you have the Zeekr 7X, which is like a Model Y X G6 X1 G6 competitor. So yeah, interesting to see Zeekr enter this space, the kind of mainstream premium, but mainstream not very premium, but that space where all the popular electric cars are kind of competing in. The demo video that they had for it was like Steven Silaf, the guy who's heading their design team, kind of like sketching out the car and like looking at the car and showing how cool the car's design is. And I don't know, when the car came out and I looked at it, I was just like, that is one dog shit ugly car. I mean, I don't get it. Maybe it's just me, but I don't get this whole weird aesthetic of the black thing going through the wheel arch and coming through. And I don't know. I mean, it's not dog shit ugly, but it's definitely a bit weird. Certain angles, certain curves, I just don't get. I mean, look at this and you compare with the Sea Lion 7 from BYD. I don't know. I think the Sea Lion 7 is conventionally at least a bit more good looking. This one just looks a little bit like an experiment. But I guess everybody has a different take on design. Next launch was amazing because it was a car that that everyone in the media had already seen, I guess. This Audi Q7, and I guess Audi paid the big bucks to be featured in the opening launch gambit because they got a chance to drive their cars in after BMW, and they wanted to show just one car, which is this car, which will eventually come into focus. There you go. Audi Q7. I think this is a facelift of a facelift. It's a car that I think I drove in 2016 when I first joined, 2015 or 2016 when I first joined the industry. And yeah, it was a slightly older car back then, and they just facelifted it so many times now that they're ready to let Malaysia locally assemble it, I guess. They showed off a car that was kind of old, but the pricing, I don't know, it would have been attractive if this was 2016 and this car was launched for 400,000 ringgit. So it is 400,000 odd ringgit now. But it is a pretty old car, dressed up to look a lot younger than it is. Not a bad car, I don't know, I can't remember what it was like. It's been a while since I drove it. I'm sure it's pretty good still, but I just can't blame people spending that kind of money in 2025 when you have so many Chinese options. That was the first haul, and to me the interesting thing was like we had 3 or 4 power outages during the presentation. So when BMW presented, of course, nothing went wrong. Cars may be unreliable, but the demos aren't. But when Audi presented, during the presentation, power outage. It's so loud. Okay, circus Audi. Oh, nearly died. Nearly died. Yeah, when Audi presented, power went out like 3 times. And throughout the day, we just had a lot of power outages, especially in this side of the booth. So this is the second extension hall. And nothing much happened here. But this is where we went to next. We have the Toyota booth with cars that they cannot launch or sell, like the Mirai, which is coming into focus today, Sunday. No. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be in focus. They can't sell the car. We have the Mercedes booth where nothing was launched. I'm pretty sure it's not even Mercedes. It's probably like Cycle and Carriage or something. Then you have the Mazda booth where also nothing was launched, but they're showing off their. Actually, come to think of it, you've got this thing, which is Japanese, just under 300,000 ringgit and convertible. And then you've got the Cyberster, which is 320,000 and convertible. And you have the Mini convertible, which is also 320 and convertible. So I think something's going on here. It's not always that Malaysia, our market, gets convertibles. It might indicate that we're doing okay. Or some people are getting rich very fast and need to spend money on stupid things. Maybe that's what's going on. Anyway, Smart didn't launch much. They launched this thing. Can't believe I walked past it like a chump. But yeah, they launched this thing, which is very interesting because this is the Smart #1, which has been around for like 2 or 3 years already, maybe 2 years. And it's the #1 Brabus version, but it's a Brabus limited edition. Let me try to explain what I mean. This is already called the #1 Brabus, but they partnered up with the official Brabus of Malaysia, and there's also a global Brabus partnership. So Brabus put a body kit on the Brabus edition. So you got like a body kit there, new rims which are from Brabus. I don't think the inside is any different, but yeah, it says limited edition, 1 of 20. So the Brabus edition. It's like, yeah, we heard you like Brabus, so we put Brabus in your Brabus. So you can Brabus while you Brabus. Mazda didn't launch anything, but they brought the CX-60 up. I think that girl looked at me, and I'm so nervous. Mitsubishi also didn't launch anything, but they brought the Triton out, so that's something. Kia has ice cream. I gotta get ice cream. Hi. Could I have an ice cream, please? Don't have to scan anything. Or just
You have to fill in the form, please.
fill in the form. Okay. There's always a catch. Okay, got it. No such thing as a free ice cream. Is it all potong? God damn it. Okay. Coconut, I guess. It's coconut, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You pay? No?
I paid the survey. You want to be on video?
Even more Malaysian.
I thought they launched this a few days ago.
Details will be announced closer to the launch, so stay tuned.
This is the 3rd time I'm seeing this video and hearing this song this week. I can only imagine how everyone at Wuling and Tanchong feel seeing this video over and over again. It's gotta be sickening. I almost forgot. Dongfeng exists. I think we got here just in time for like the dealer showcase. That's why it's so crowded. But this is gonna be, I don't know, pretty interesting car. I don't think the car itself is interesting because it's like, it's really bordering on shitbox level. Look at that. You got a basic steel rim or something inside. 15 inches. Charging, I don't know how slow it's going to be. But what's interesting is that it's going to be the first non-national car priced below 100,000. You know this, man? They say below 100,000, but I got insider info that says probably 70,000. So why is it that a Chinese brand is getting such favorable pricing? I think there's a story there, but I think that's a video for another time. I'm gonna walk to the main event hall, which is where most of the stuff is going on. I want to tell you about the Nissan booth, but someone is doing some promo about Jetour right now. Okay, the guy finally shut up. So Nissan didn't really launch anything except for this, which is Nissan Kicks, but with an in-pull body kit. There you go, in-pull. It's real. It's not fake. Oh my god. I need to have this in my life. No way. Oh my god. Oh, that's real in-pull right there. Interestingly, they got an A-list celebrity, Emilia Henderson, to do the emceeing for this event, to launch the in-pull body kit. But it was money not well spent because nobody was paying attention to the event because everybody knew nothing was being launched, so they just walked away after a few minutes, which is kind of sad. Anyway, I'm sure she's still around here somewhere. Try to get an autograph. And then we have GWM. GWM was the last event of the show, but definitely not the smallest event. I think they had the best booth. Double story, some workspace up there, some really good coffee for free. But what they launched was this, the Tank 500. That's not a Emilia Henderson. Yeah, they launched it, 328,000. Look at that package. Is it a good deal? I think so. I mean, this is like literally Land Cruiser sized, right? Look at that. It looks like some American Lincoln Navigator type thing. Actually, it kind of looks like a Land Cruiser alternative. Tough stuff. People seem to like the Tank 300, that orange one there. Just did a review of these. Look it up. Autophiles, Malaysia. How do I open this? Press the button, obviously. Stupid. Yeah, it's a 5+2 seater. Smells like a new car. I feel like people get excited in buying new cars. It's the smell is just so, I don't know, just does something to your brain, switches it off, makes you want to pay $328,000. Look at that, look at the wood. That's nice, I have to say, it's nice. Don't look at it too much, might buy it. And nearly forgot, not just Nissan, but Maury's garage. MG was here as well. MG, what did you launch? You launched the MG S5 EV. Why is it called the MG S5? I don't know. I can't understand MG's naming scheme at this point. And I'm trying to understand the placing of this car because I'm not really that attuned with MG and how they name stuff. But I think this looks like a HRV sized car. Might be a little bit bigger than that. The boot seems quite big. Is it related to that car? I don't think so. How much is this car going for? 115, not the official price, estimated price. They don't want to tell you what the real price is. They're probably going to have another launch event where they don't have to share space with everyone. This is what the interior looks like. I don't know. Is it bigger than a Leap Moto C10? Nope. But it's cheaper, so I don't know. Looks okay, I guess. Have to check the NCAP rating. NG was one of the last events, and the hosts of this place, Mari, I think they were a little bit delayed because they had to delay the launch by like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Everyone just standing around with their dicks in their hands, not knowing what to do because the host is late. The host is former Perodua CEO, Dato' Aminah Rashid. I don't think it was him who was late. Maybe it was him. Quite old. Might need a nap now and then. And then there's Jetour. Jetour showed this thing. ET9, I didn't know what to make of it. I was just like, oh, this is another Chinese car. It's probably some Chery derived vehicle. Then I started to pay a bit more attention, and like, this is genuinely Chery Tiggo 8 Pro sized. It even has the scent, the flavor of a Chery Tiggo 8 Pro, you know, with the displays and all that. Look at the size of this thing. It's almost there. It's probably like a Chery 7 Pro with the seating arrangement of a Chery Tiggo 8 Pro. It's got the 5+2 seating. Oh, you can't see anything. Fully exposed. But yeah, it's generally pretty big, and the pricing is insane. It's like 118, 123. The only issue, quote unquote issue, is The engine is a 1.5 turbo, so it's the only 1.5 turbo that doesn't have. I mean, there's the Proton X90, and then there's this. And the X90 has a hybrid system. This doesn't. This is going to be the quote-unquote underpowered 7-seater, but it's so damn cheap. The other issue is it's a Jetour. What's a Jetour? We don't know. Is it a Chery? Is it a cheaper Chery? Is it a more expensive Chery? Seems to be a cheaper Chery. Whatever that means. Cherries are already so cheap. Oh, and they also showed another car. Oh, I really forgot about that. Yeah, you got this Jetour T8. It's basically a Land Rover Defender. I was just there. Why did I walk all the way around and come back here to... Anyway, the T2, no price tag. It's just a preview. Is it a Defender? I mean, basically, yes. What's the difference between this and a Defender? 800,000 ringgit. That's the difference. Does it feel like it's 800,000 ringgit cheaper? I don't know. It's not like a Defender is free to maintain or doesn't give you problems. I mean, I didn't say that. Once you got that as an alternative, if you want something a bit more proven, of course you have to pay for all the accessories yourself. But at least you can buy that car. The T2 is not even launched yet. I'll get to Perodua by the end of this video. This is the main thing for me. I'll come back to this. Chery flying car. Yeah, keep dreaming, man. Chery, what did Chery do? Chery had like a whole presentation. They brought their doctor, engineer, like the guy who designs all their engines and stuff, and does pre-research. And yeah, he was talking about some stuff about hybrids, and they launched this CSH, Chery Super Hybrid. Basically, a bunch of hybrids and plug-in hybrids that have larger batteries, can drive like 1,000 km on a full charge. Yeah, it's interesting. They're also launching this, the Tiggo Cross. Their first vehicle under 100,000 ringgit. Doesn't come with an influencer. This is another one, same thing, basically without the wrap. Why would you wrap it if it's already unwrapped? I don't know. And besides that, actually if you think about it, this entire strip here is all Chery brands. You got Chery, iCar, you got, what the hell? And then you've got Omoda Jeku, and yeah, you have Jetour at the end. I guess they wanted that side, but GWM beat them to it. So what the hell is this iCar? iCore. So it was supposed to be called iCar. They've been teasing this brand for a long time. Then I think they were a bit scared of the copyright potential issues, so they added a U there. But if you think about it, if you really stare at the logo long enough and you keep saying iCar, iCore, 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 it basically starts sounding like iCar. Then you can pretend, you cannot pretend that these are desirable vehicles. So iCar, they didn't launch anything, so I don't know what I want to cover. Basically, you got two weird different cars, iCore, iCar V20. What's the naming scheme here? I don't know. But yeah, it's a Chery sub-brand. That's the guy in charge of everything. Dr. Lee. I wish I was going to say hi, but chickened out. Their exhibit is like kind of fun. It's got arcadey stuff going on. Nothing to do with cars. They have to pay license fees. Nah, the Chinese, they don't have to. So this is like the boxy, youthful, fun sub-brand of Chery. Then you have Jeku, which is the you've seen Jeku before. Nothing new here, except there are a couple of new things for Jeku. The first thing that's new is that they finally merged brands. Omoda Jeku, we knew it was coming. Finally happened. So what's going to happen is the Omoda 5 from Chery is going to be taken away from Chery and parked under here. I don't know how that's going to work out in the Grand. The Grand is probably still going to say Chery, but in showrooms you'll get Chery C5 with Jeku showrooms. And probably Jeku showrooms will start to be called Omoda Jeku in the future. And then you also got this launch. I think it was a launch, more like a preview. Can't seem to remember. But yeah, C7. That's what it looks like. It looks like a Lexus RX from the front. What does it look like from the back? Oh, Jeku's also giving us dinner. So in case you're wondering if any of us are like bribed, this is the bribery. It's food. Yeah, from the back it's basically like Lexus RX kind of. If you squint. Nothing much here. Got some old brands that are not doing anything. The final booth over here is Aion, GAC Aion. And GAC did launch something, but it wasn't really a launch, it was kind of a preview type thing. They revealed this car, which is the Aion V. So there's like some intention to launch this thing, but I don't think we got a price. This is like an SUV version of the Aion Y, if I'm interpreting it correctly, which I'm probably not. How do you open this? Oh, it's locked. Yeah, they said we weren't allowed to look inside, but you can kind of look inside. What are they trying to hide? Oh, racing stripes, checkered flag. You won the race. Then they also showed this which is like a Model X, the one with the gull wings. This thing has gull wings. So they did a little preview where they opened the those gull wings, and then they didn't give us a price, so what was that about? And then they also kind of pre-launched this thing, the M8 PHEV, but this is a GAC, not a hype tech, not an Aion. This is a GAC. This is the first plug-in hybrid to be launched here, and I think it's going to be CBU. It's not going to be CKD. They got a price for us. I just can't remember the price. I'll put it up here. It's not really launched, it's just open for booking, I think. But yeah, the fact that the price is there shows that it's basically ready for launch. And then they're giving a heavy discount on the M-Zoom. And that's about it. That's all they did, which is actually a lot better than what a lot of other car companies do. A lot of them didn't do anything, which is fine. You don't have to do a launch every auto show. But yeah, Proton didn't really launch this car, the E-Mass 5, they just showed it. And this is what it looks like. It's a Galaxy something or other. I don't really remember. Oh, then he died. Tripped over something. E-Mass 5, since we're all pretending. Can't really open anything. If I open this, someone from Proton will scold me. So just gonna give you a 360 or 540 degree view. I don't think that's what the rims should look like, but that's what they have for us. What else they show? They showed some weird exhibit over here. And yeah, nothing really wrong happened at this booth, but one of the speakers kept going off, so it was like listening to speeches on one speaker that was barely working. That's basically the Proton booth for you. So that's all Proton did. Just showed us a car, didn't give us a launch. A little bit disappointing. But the least disappointing was actually this one, Perodua. I know I was a bit hard on them with the Perodua video that I did last year. But they actually showed a lot of progress. This is the new emo concept. It's usually supposed to be spinning around. It's actually half a car, and the other half is like the platform. And this half shows that it no longer looks like the original emo. Why is the music so dramatic? Oh yeah, that's the dramatic video music. But yeah, this is it's actually a pretty decent effort. They're trying to show that they are not going to be reliant on Daihatsu or Toyota for any of this technology. So what they're going to do is they're getting the batteries from CATL, Chinese supplier, and they're working with an unnamed engineering partner to produce this EV from the ground up, and they're trying to localize as much as possible. That's their goal. But they said that if they're going to launch by the end of this year, the first batch is going to have suppliers from outside of Malaysia. This just can't be helped. We don't have the supply chain for a lot of EV items. The thing is, they can't even go to the Japanese for this, so it is going to come from China, which is a first for Perodua. But the good thing is that they're actually like training their own engineers from the ground up to actually be able to fix and solve a lot of the issues that they're going to come up with. Now, what's interesting is they're going to build a new factory just for this vehicle. And yeah, it's also going to be mass produced. And the other interesting part is they were talking about how it's important to make sure resale value is preserved in a Perodua EV, or at least stable and predictable. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep the body of the vehicle as cheap as possible, and then they're going to allow customers to choose whether they're going to buy the battery outright or if they're going to lease the battery from Perodua. And part of the lease agreement is that if your battery just degrades, you can come in and swap it in about 30 minutes. And if you buy the battery outright, you still get your 8-year warranty, but if the battery degrades significantly within the 8 years, you can come in and swap the battery also in under 30 minutes. But if it degrades and you want to swap it after the 8th year, then you have to pay for the battery, or you can maybe lease the battery after that. They're still working out how this whole thing is going to work out, but the whole goal of it is to make sure that the vehicle itself doesn't lose too much value, and the battery can be a very separate object from the vehicle itself, so that resale value is preserved, and also so that monthly costs of ownership doesn't exceed your typical Perodua buyer's spending on fuel and maintenance and all that. So yeah, that's the whole goal. I think it's pretty interesting. Now, we're not allowed to go in here, but what I'm going to do is my friend is going to video for me, and I'm just going to have audio description and maybe a little talk with the engineers. Can you help? Yes. Good. So we're not allowed to show the inside of the Perodua EV, but we can go inside without the camera. So what I'm going to do is, my friend here, who's a relatively unknown person, he's going to hold the camera, and I'm going to be mic'd up, and I'm going to go inside and I'm going to attempt to describe the interior of the Perodua EV. Okay, wish me luck. So people said, It rejected me. Yes. I'm entering the car right now. Oh my god. It has seats. What does it look like? Oh, it's actually quite impressive. You've got one digital screen. No cameras. No cameras. Can you leave your phone? My phone's outside. Outside, okay. Yeah. Okay, the only thing in here that looks like it's from Perodua is the fonts. So like PRND looks like the Perodua stuff. There's a circular gear selector in the center, drive mode selector, little lever behind that. You got brake hole on the right. You got a battery flap or something on the left. Maybe that's the whole battery. And then you've got a little row of control toggles, hazard light, defrost, demister, and all that. AC, temperature, and fan speed, and then door lock. And then above that, you've got like a 10-inch-ish screen, digital screen. It says it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the interface doesn't look Perodua at all. It's nothing like any Perodua I've seen. But the seats are like normal Perodua size. Okay, Matthew, get me a sketch badge. All wrapped up here at the Malaysia Autoshow. So that's really why I don't do a lot of motor show coverage, event coverage. Not really my thing. It's a lot of distraction. I want to talk to people. I want to interact with people, stuff like that. And you don't really get to do that when you have a camera floating in front of your face like this. I hope you found it interesting. So much more. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.